Let's go.
All right, hello guys. My name is Dillard, and my co-host on the podcast is named John. And we've
That's
been
right.
having a lot of issues with YouTube lately,
Yeah, YouTube.
particularly me because they make it extremely hard to try and stream. The problem I was running into is I know it makes sense. I get it. It's the Child Protection Agency,
Nonsense.
yeah, that stuff.
Child
Which I get
drama.
it. I understand it. But every time you live stream, at least for me, unless you guys know something I don't know, every time I have to click in there and I have to set it to know, but I can't do it manually from Streamlabs, which is what I'm using. So it would be so much easier to stream from Twitch, but I don't. I mean, there's really no point for me to stream on Twitch since everything I do is based upon YouTube.
Yeah,
So we're just
hopefully
going
it
to be
actually
doing it
works.
like this. And I mean, that's basically all I can say about it. So go ahead and introduce yourself, John, to everybody who
All right.
doesn't know you.
My name is John. We've known each other for a long time now. We've been pretty good friends for basically as long as I can remember. Always bonded over the fact that we're both Yankees fans. Met a long time ago playing video games. Have managed to go to one baseball game despite the fact that he's halfway across the country from me. I live in Jersey, and I go to Yankee games all the time. I go to all the playoff games I can go to. I've been wanting to buy World Series tickets, but we haven't made it there yet. So hopefully, we'll get there eventually. I've been a lifelong Yankee fan since the Core Four, and uh, I've grown up like I'm 10 miles from the stadium. So people are like, "Well, how come you're a Yankee fan?" Because I'm in the immediate area.
Mm.
So that's basically everything about me. Do I think the Yankees are going to kneel? Yes, and I don't think there's a problem with it, honestly. I mean, I don't see any issue with it myself personally. I mean, they can do whatever they want. It's freedom of speech. I mean, I don't see it. Some people have problems with it, but I don't really get those issues at all.
Alrighty.
Um, yeah. So, Lee Santa, I don't know if you just heard about this, but we were just talking about it when we were just in here. But apparently, the MLB Players Union has approved expanded playoffs for the 2020 season. So there will be a 16-team field for the playoffs if the owners decide that they want to approve it. They have until I'm checking my invisible watch. They have until 7 p.m. Eastern time, which is the start of the Yankee game, to approve it. What do you think about that, Dylan? Any ideas? Do you like it? Do you not like it?
Uh,
What you?
I'm honestly fine with it if it's just like a 1 year deal. Like just because things have been really bizarre right now and it's just 60 games, I'm not opposed to it just for this season. In
I can.
terms of like a long term effect, I really wouldn't be too big of a fan of it because
No, that's all.
I'm kind of more of a fan. The reason I love baseball so much is it just feels exclusive. The postseason feels exclusive, whereas in the NFL or especially the NBA, it seems like half the teams make the playoffs. You know what I mean, or more than half or whatever.
Yeah,
Because basketball you have 16 teams,
yeah, yeah. Basketball is silly. I
so
hate the basketball playoffs. It's
I
so silly.
I'd much rather prefer the way that baseball does. It just feels more exclusive. It feels like those teams really deserve it. They really deserve a chance to clash at each other for a World Series title. And that's why I
Well,
think baseball is the best sport in the world.
I agree with that, but I'm looking at the playoff field for what would have been the playoffs last year, for instance, and I can tell you. So I'll give you the American League teams that would have made the playoffs under this new expanded playoffs last year.
Hmm.
Astros, Yankees, Twins, A's, right?
Hmm.
Uh, Rays, Indians. Seventh seed is the Red Sox,
Hmm.
pretty good, and the eighth seed is the Rangers. Now the
Hmm.
Rangers are the only ones who don't belong there, in my opinion. I think that there could definitely have
Hmm.
been another team.
Yeah.
Um, that's not the worst. The NL actually looks really great, if you ask me. There's some really good teams in there: Dodgers, Braves, Nationals, Cardinals, Brewers, Mets, Diamondbacks, and the Cubs. Like those are solid. That's
Hmm.
good. So I mean, despite the fact that there's 16 teams in the playoffs, there's actually some pretty good teams in there. I mean, it just goes to show you that last year was just really bad for the really bad teams. They just got wrecked.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not the worst.
I was
It's
actually
not the
gonna
worst. I mean, it could be better.
I was actually gonna throw out. I know we kind of skipped over a little bit, but John and I actually the first time that we actually met was at a Yankee game in Arlington when went to go see them play the Rangers. He came down and
Oh
flew
yeah,
down here and stayed here for a little bit, and we
that
went
was
with
fun.
some other friends of ours that we've known for a while, and that was quite an experience. I mean, I know we lost, and that was actually back before we
Yeah,
really knew. I mean, it doesn't matter now because of certain circumstances, but that was back before we knew how much potential that Domingo Herman had because what did
Yeah,
he, I mean, that was a rough game. I think we lost like
it was
eight.
initially CC's start, I think, and then
Yeah,
CC couldn't start because of his knee, and then they put Herman in. And we're like, oh, who's this guy?
yeah. So
Like, we didn't know what he could do. I mean, he looks really really good now, but I mean, obviously, he's got his own issues to deal with.
yeah, so
Besides that fact,
well, yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like for obvious reasons. I don't think we really have to explain why you know he's suspended or apparently he's quitting baseball from a post that I saw of his. I'm not really sure what's going on with him. Not.
I
I
saw a
honestly.
post.
Go ahead.
Well, and actually, I saw a post where he took that down and he apologized. That is, I'm not leaving.
Mhm. That's why
So
I'm just
there
like
was,
really confused. Everything just seems kind of like uncertain. You know what I mean? Just like not a lot of reports and news about what's actually going on, what's going to happen with her mom. So we need to know from him directly.
I think
Um,
if you asked me, I think it was a cry for help post, and I think he was just like really lost, and now he's hopefully getting the help that he needs. Like that looks to me like a post where someone's just like reaching out, like I need help, I
mhm,
need some guidance in my life, and hopefully he's there getting it because he's had a really rough year this year.
mhm,
Like not only did he just like he made a really poor decision
mhm,
that no one should ever make. He decided to use violence, which you should never do,
mhm,
and then he has to answer to that this whole year and then watch the team play the sport he loves and has worked his whole life to play through a pandemic, and he can't be there with his teammates who are probably his family at this point.
mhm,
It's a rough year for him. It's a rough year, and on top of that, he's got to answer to all the fans who are probably really mad at him too. So I mean, he's had a rough year,
mhm.
and I understand he's probably in a really bad headspace right now. So hopefully, he's getting the help that he needs. I feel bad for the guy. I feel legitimately bad for the guy.
Yeah. So do you want to go ahead and break down like what you think's going to happen tonight? I mean, do you have any key predictions or anything that you're super excited about in terms of? I mean, obviously we want the Yankees to win. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, we're
But
gonna win. I
what
feel
do we
like
want to see like positive contributions? Like what do you personally want to see?
well, let me first off go with I'm surprised DJ's not in the lineup, but I'm sure that he's just not 100% ready to go after coming back from the virus so late. I'm sure they want to give Tyler Wade a chance. I see the lineup here. Hicks leadoff. I like Hicks leadoff. I like this lineup a lot. I really like this lineup. I'm looking
Hmm.
at Hicks, Judge, Torres, Giancarlo, Gardner, Sanchez, Voigt, Urshela, Wade.
Hmm.
That's a great lineup. I really like the fact that they've broken up Judge, Stanton, and Sanchez. I really like that because it's like those people in between them are going to have really good opportunities to hit pitches, and they're really good at hitting them.
Hmm.
I feel like I would love to see Judge hit a home run off of Scherzer like he did in the All Star game.
Hmm.
I feel like that anything. I want. I'm kind of torn. I know that Gary's probably gonna go like 0 for 3 and then hit a home run in garbage time probably.
Hmm.
I feel like it's gonna be one of those games. Um, I don't have anything else really to say about this lineup. I really like this lineup. I'm excited. They all can produce. I know they can produce.
Hmm.
I'm looking at it every which way, and I don't know how anybody's going to get through this. I mean, Scherzer's in for a tough time here. Like the only weak spot is maybe Wade, because I mean Wade's not exactly the best hitter,
Hmm.
but he's really good with the glove, and he's really good at when he gets on base. He's going to make you pay. Who's their catcher now? Who's the Nationals catcher now? I don't know their catcher.
I honestly don't have a single clue.
Is
To
it
be
still
honest with you.
Suzuki? Is it still Kurt Suzuki? I feel like that if Wade manages to get on base, I feel like
It,
John Gomes.
it might be Kurt Suzuki actually.
Did he not opt out?
I'm not entirely sure. I only know Ryan Zimmerman opted out. I know for sure he
Yeah,
opted out.
Ryan
There was
Zimmerman
somebody.
opted out.
Who was the other guy who opted out on the Nationals? What? It was a reliever, wasn't it?
I know Sean Doolittle was on the fence.
I'm not entirely sure. I just know that Ryan Zimmerman opted out. That's pretty much it. And I know now Soto is going to be out because of Corona, which really sucks. It really does. Like, from a standpoint, it's like, okay, well, at least we won't have to deal with Soto. But it's like, no, like, that's just, that's honestly a
It's,
really crappy way of thinking of it. I want Soto to play. I want everybody to play. I don't want
I
anyone to
want to
get
see Soto.
COVID. Yeah, and I want to see
I want to see. Yeah,
Soto is good for baseball. Period. Like, it doesn't matter if we're playing him or
he's
not.
fun.
Yeah, he needs to be playing, and it's just really unfortunate that this is happening to him.
Would you rather watch Tim Anderson or would you rather watch
What was
trigger
this?
people?
What was the second? You said watch Tim Anderson or what?
Tim Anderson or Juan Soto, because both of them are apparently very good at triggering people.
Definitely Juan
You
Soto.
see, like, you see Juan Soto, he's aggressive in the batter's box, and he's always like having a good time. He's like Yasiel Puig, but he can hit. Would you rather watch? And Tim Anderson's just throwing bats all over the place. Like they're both fun to watch. It's like watching. Can you imagine if Ken Griffey Jr. was around nowadays? Like, can you imagine how much fun he'd be having in this baseball league where you can actually express yourself and actually be a fun baseball player?
Yeah.
Man, I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Oh, I just saw a video clip of Cole walking into the building.
Yeah, I just saw that too.
There they go. I love it. I'm so excited. It is. Oh, by the way, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Who is the Nationals starting second base tonight? Can you imagine how much fun? Who is number one on the Nationals depth chart at second base?
Trey Turner.
No. I think Trey. I don't think Trey Turner's not even on this list. I'll give you a hint. He used to play for the Yankees.
Oh! Starling Castro. Starling Castro. Yeah. Yes.
Starling Castro.
How did I not think
Yankee
of that?
legend.
That's crazy.
Yankee legend.
Oh, he's
Starling
gonna be
Castro.
back. He's gonna be back. Yeah, I honestly kind of miss him. So.
I miss Castro a little bit, except for the fact that when I pulled his card in a baseball game and I was talking so much shit about him because I was like, man, I remember all those errors he committed. I was like, man, that was a rough baseball game when I went to the playoffs and he committed like 2 errors against the Astros. I was like, man, oof. Still no lineup out of the Nationals.
No.
Apparently they're playing. I'm looking at baseball Reddit. The Nationals are not playing Michael Taylor in place of Soto. I saw the name they just came up with. I'm looking for it. I cannot find it. Soto's asymptomatic. Returned to the stadium last week. I just saw it. I don't know where it is.
I have no idea.
So, considering the fact that now we basically don't care, like, give me a number between like 95 and 100 that you think the chances are the Yankees make the playoffs, because it's probably that high, honestly.
90. Wait, what? 95 to what?
It's probably gonna be at least 95% chance the Yankees play off.
I don't know.
What do you think the chances are the Yankees
probably higher than that. I don't know. Did MLB actually? I know
feel like at this point it's guaranteed they make the playoffs. Like, how do they not make the playoffs?
Yeah, I know on ESPN the other day when I was at work, I saw that apparently the Orioles' chances of making the playoffs, or not make the playoffs, sorry, winning the World Series is 500 to 1.
Are they 1% now?
Yeah, it's just
yuck,
bad. But they also didn't.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, they have a slim chance. If Chris Davis can keep mashing like he did against the Red Sox. You remember that period of time when Chris? I mean, I know he struggled like massively, but then he came out and hit like, what was it, 2 home runs against the Red Sox and played really well against them that series. You know, I don't really know why that was, but
who are you talking about again?
Chris Davis.
Yeah, when Chris Davis got his first hit off of the Red Sox that season.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about.
And then let her hit a home run that game?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
He played really well that whole series, honestly, to be honest with you. Which I like the guy. I feel bad for him. I do.
I feel really genuinely bad. He's a really good guy. I feel bad that he's struggling. Like, I'm not going to say that it's fun to watch him struggle. He's a good guy. He does a lot of community service. Cool dude. Mm-hmm. I feel bad for the guy. Mm-hmm. Like, he's genuinely a really nice guy. He's a guy you can really root for. But I mean, the Orioles this year are gonna be really bad, and I'm sorry. Like, let me give it to you this way. I'll break it down. You've got the fact that their number one pitcher, John Means, who I think was their only All-Star selection last year, is not playing. He is missing opening day because of arm fatigue. You've got the only other person I can see making an All-Star team on that team, other than like VR. The only other person on that team is Trey Mancini, and he's currently out because he's battling cancer. Like. That team is bad. There's nothing to sugarcoat it. Like, They've got really good players. They've got raw talent, but none of it's really showed up yet. I'm waiting for VR to have a breakout season. I'm waiting for all those guys to show up. Like Michael Gibbons looks like he could be a really good reliever, but he just hasn't put it together yet. And I feel like he doesn't have the support from that staff. It's like they've got pieces, but they need to put it together. And I feel like they don't have it. Like Davis needs to have a good season and lead that team, but
the bigger question is how long are they not going to have it for? Like how long are they going to be playing this type of just terrible baseball?
They've got pieces, they've got draft picks, they have it. I think they just need to get a staff together, and they just need some better direction. I mean, the worst part about that was they got rid of their manager, Showalter. Genius, dude's so smart about baseball, and it only hurts them. I feel like that he was a good dude to have around, and I mean, they needed to make a change, but I feel like that he was basically like he's like Tom Coughlin, you know. If you remember this apt comparison, like dude's smart coach, but they needed to make a change. I feel bad that guy's a genius.
I'm genuinely
like, you listen to him on Yes Network, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, I'm genuinely happy that the Astros didn't sign Buck Showalter, instead signed Dusty Baker. Like big time. So
Dusty Baker, yeah, I'm happy that they didn't pick him up. Well, Showalter is a really smart guy.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, do you know the things?
Wrinkle in the team.
Do you know the things that Showalter could do with that Astros team? You know, like that Astros team is so talented.
He would find a way.
Like, regardless of what you feel about the Astros, we all know that they're cheaters. We don't support them. Their integrity is pretty much ruined at this point. But
they're still a good baseball.
Yeah, that's the thing. Springer's really not good. Springer and Altuve and Correa and Bregman aren't just going to magically fall off a cliff. I mean, Springer and Altuve have already proven this in the past. They've already proven that they're solid baseball players. They're not going to be I mean, they may be affected by a little bit, but not a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, this is the reason why I'm not mad about this, is because, yes, they cheated and they broke the rules. I get that. But, like, they probably would have won anyway without it, and they probably were the best team in baseball that year. Honestly, they were really good. I mean, they clearly proved it. Like, their players didn't drop off, and they were good before they got there. Like, Altuve was putting up MVP years in 2014. He just never got the votes for it. I think that Altuve didn't hit like 347 in 14, and he didn't win the MVP or something. Like, it was crazy. Like, it didn't make any sense to me. It was like the year that John Olerud hit 358 for the Mets and finished 12th in MVP voting.
Yeah, just like
something crazy.
Of. Just
it makes no sense. Yeah, it's nuts.
So actually, so you saw the Yankee lineup for tonight, right?
Yes.
So I actually said something about this, but I was thinking the reason. Okay, so let me first say this: I love Hicks in the leadoff spot. I absolutely love it. I'm a big fan.
I love that.
As far as
not everybody else hates it though.
As far as DJ is, I know that they substituted Tyler Wade for DJ or DJ Lemmy for Tyler Wade, but I'm thinking maybe it's because he needs more rep or time to prepare. Since he just had coronavirus and just got what I mean. Like, he's better now, he's healthy, but he didn't even get that many reps in the exhibition game. So I'm thinking just need a little bit more time, which I'm not opposed to that. Like, everybody's freaking out, and it's like, look at this lineup. We have Judge, Torres, Stanton, Gardner, Sanchez, Voit, Urshela. I mean, like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, these guys can all contribute in big ways. We can't just rely on one guy. I mean, we got to be realistic.
I feel like DJ will be playing on Saturday. I think that's the next game. I think we skip Friday, and I think Saturday is a final game. I feel like DJ will be playing on Saturday. I think they just wanted to give him a couple extra days. I don't think it's anything serious. I think, like you said, just they needed to give him more reps, let him take batting practice, just hang out. Don't do too much. Like, give him a day off. He's been playing a lot. I mean, he did have a bunch of at-bats in exhibition games. Just ease him back into the season. You don't got to push him.
Okay, so
he did get back a couple days ago.
Let me ask you this question, because I asked somebody earlier today, and I tried to make a legitimate argument with it, and I want to know your opinion too. So,
okay.
Obviously, we both like Aaron Hicks as leadoff. I'm completely fine with that. But here's the thing, Right. It doesn't really. I mean, if DJ's mostly the leadoff this year, if it's Aaron Hicks, so be it. I'm not going to complain. This roster in general is ridiculous. we'll manage to win games no matter what it takes. You know what I mean? Like, we have so much talent on this offense. So I'm not going to be like freaking out about it and I'll be on Yankee Twitter and be like, why is this guy not leading off, or why are you not doing this or not? I'm not the manager. I don't make those decisions.
Right.
But I wanted to ask you and see what you thought about this. So we know last year that DJ used to lead off a lot. And, you know, we called him the machine. He's the guy who every time you would never have a shadow of doubt of him reaching base. He always managed to get on base. Yeah. So here's the thing. I am a firm believer, not in every case, just depending on if we're talking about let's say like sprint speed or batted balls or things like that. Sometimes it really just depends, you know, which players we're talking about. But in this circumstance, with the fact that DJ hits so much, I honestly wouldn't mind experimenting with DJ somewhere in the cleanup position, just because you don't have to worry about him getting on base. He's always going to get on base. He can drive in runs. He proved that last year. He drives in runs like a madman. So not only that, but I would want to ask you this. So a lot of people, and I know you like the guy a lot, so you might not be opposed to this idea. What do you think about the possible idea, and it doesn't have to be every game, it could be just every now and then, of Luke Voit leading off? Because he comes out of the gate swinging immediately. You know, he's aggressive on first pitches. A lot of pitchers make mistakes on their first pitches. The only reason I say that is because the reason I say that, though, is because I am a pretty big firm believer that the man that you should have in the leadoff spot is the guy with the highest on-base percentage. And yes, Luke Voit didn't have as many plate appearances last year as DJ. I think around like 120 less or something like that. But if we're talking about like a minimum of 500 plate appearances, Luke Voit did have a higher on-base percentage than DJ. So would you be opposed to having Luke Voit open more as a leadoff?
No. Okay. No, I mean, you're right. Like, Luke Voit led this team in on-base percentage last year, and that's because he walks a lot. He takes a lot of pitches. Unfortunately, sometimes he also strikes out because he takes a lot of pitches. But he is really good at putting the bat on the ball. Like, except for when he was in that core injury, he's really good at putting the bat on the ball. I feel like that it's amazing to me that DJ managed to get 100 RBIs last year in the leadoff spot. That's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. I don't even understand how that worked. I feel like that you're onto something there, where you could put DJ behind the big hitters and he can be a cleanup hitter, definitely. I'm not sure where you put him, though. I mean, maybe you put him like right after Giancarlo. Like, in this lineup, would you basically take Wade out, shift everyone down behind maybe Giancarlo, and you put DJ there, maybe? Because the only problem with that is you'd have a bunch of righties stacked up, but I feel like that DJ just doesn't care. He just hits regardless. Mm. I wouldn't be opposed to that idea. I like the fact that DJ and Voit both share the same idea, that they're very good at putting the bat on the ball and putting the ball in play, and good things happen when you put the ball in play, and they won't strike out that often. Mm. And you could go either way. I mean, I'd be down for it. I mean, I'm cool with the lineup this way. I know a lot of people have a lot of issues with having Judge second, and I don't understand those issues at all. I think those people are kind of silly. Mm. The logic makes sense to me, the way that it's written out. If you told me that you want to put Judge second, that makes all the sense in the world. But I can be down with putting Luke Voit first. I can see him as a leadoff hitter, see him just take walks and get on base. That's why we put Guardias first as a leadoff hitter for all those years, because he takes pitches, works counts, and gets on base. Mm-hmm. And Voit likes to swing early in at-bats, too. And like you said, the first pitch of the game is almost always a fastball. Almost always a fastball. Like 98% of the time, it's a fastball. Mm-hmm. So Voit would just be swinging right out of the gate. And I like that. I like being aggressive on the first pitch.
And that's honestly exactly why I thought about it. And just also because the fact that he had, who knows if Luke Voit would have had the same amount of plate appearances as DJ, who knows, it might have been different. But the fact is, if you're talking about, 500 minimum plate appearances, which is a sufficient enough sample size, I think you could reasonably argue that you could have Voit in the leadoff position because he just gets on base. And that's the one thing I've never understood, is why there's a good, not everybody obviously, but there's a piece of the pie of people who genuinely don't like Luke Voit, and I don't understand it. I've never understood that. I mean, I love Mike Ford, and I'll tell you I love Mike Ford, but Luke Voit is the better all-around player right now.
I think I know why people don't like Luke Voigt, and it's because he has a lot of really, really ugly strikeouts. Because he sees a pitch that he thinks is going to end up on the inside corner, and he's like, "Oh, okay, it's going to be close. I'll just take it." And then it ends up over the middle of the plate, and he strikes out, and people are like, "Boo! I don't like this guy." But like that eye is why he's so good in the leadoff spot, because he understands like where the pitch is going to end up, or he thinks he is, and then he gets it wrong. Which it happens. I mean, it's a good pitch. I mean, you got to tip your hat to a good pitch. You can't do everything with every pitch. Sometimes the pitcher just makes a good pitch. You lose. It happens.
And when I think about this, I immediately think about that game against the White Sox last year where they had Luke Voigt lead off. And first pitch against Lucas Giolito, and he's a tank of a pitcher. He's elite. Took him long to center field. At least, I think it was like 410 feet or what. I don't know what I'm not familiar with the dimensions of guaranteed rate field. But yeah, there was a tank shot. First pitch off Lucas Giolito, an elite pitcher. So it's like, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to the idea. But then again, I mean, if we're being realistic, it's probably going to be DJ leading off most of the time, just like it was last season, which I'm not against that either. But I'm
not against that.
I'm just trying to weigh in the options. And I think that's the good thing about the Yankees is they have so many options. The options are just unlimited what they could do. So
would you be opposed? I like Luke Voigt. Would you be opposed then to having a situation where you bat Luke Voigt ninth? Because then he'd be a second leadoff hitter. That's the only thing that I can think of is that I would like to put that's why Tyler Wade is batting ninth. It's not because he's the lowest batting average person on our team, but that's because he's probably his speed would work well if he gets on base ahead of our current leadoff guy Hicks. Because then Hicks can just, mash with Wade on base and get him in. I mean, that's what I'm thinking of. I wouldn't want to put Voigt there. Oh, the Nationals lineup just came out, by the way.
Oh, it did? Who?
Yeah. Trey Turner shortstop, Adam Eaton right field, Castro second base batting third, Howie Kendrick DHing, Eric Thames first, Kurt Suzuki catching, Asdrubal Cabrera third, Andrew Stevenson in for Soto playing left, Victor Robles playing center, and Scherzer is starting, obviously.
I mean, that's still
They put Castro in a 3-hole. What? Excuse me?
Howie Kendrick. He better not do it. Man. That man was ridiculous the postseason. I don't know what was going on with him. He was eating his gummy bears, his vitamins, eating his daily vitamins or something.
Kendrick OPS in the World Series?
I think so. I mean, that man is just... Good Lord. You can thank him for so much during that entire postseason run. It's just ridiculous. In the most key situations, he came up huge. And I don't get it. He just doesn't seem like that caliber player that would come up huge that many times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be more like a...
He hit the home run against the Dodgers, didn't he?
Yeah. He's the grand slam in the 10th inning. It's just like...
God damn, man.
Completely shut down Los Angeles. You could hear a pin drop in that stadium. It's so quiet. So
no, you're right. He had his Flintstone multivitamins that day.
Yeah, he was taking his vitamins. That would be something Absolutely. Like all those moments, those clutch moments he had, it just seems like that would be something for Soto or Rendon, just not Howie Kendricks. But, man, I have a lot more respect for the guy because of that. It was insane. The whole postseason run for the Nationals was insane. I enjoyed every second of that. So, but Starlin Castro, though, coming back.
Starlin Castro in 3-hole.
Coming back. He's gonna have his revenge tour against the Yankees tonight. So,
which would you rather have? Would you rather have Starlin Castro in the 3-hole, or would you rather be the Mets and have Robinson Cano in the 3-hole?
Probably Starlin Castro.
Would you rather have?
See, okay.
Starlin Castro.
You want to talk about
Mets? What are you doing?
You want to talk about the Mets? They are. Dude, they've got question marks. Their defense is absolutely atrocious. It is terrible. I actually just talked about this with someone earlier today, and we kind of made our own predictions for who we thought was going to win the NL East. And honestly, I'm at that point where I just kind of want the Phillies and Mets to tie for third, because I'm just the Mets have such a good lineup in terms of offensive production, but it's their front office is just a train wreck. And everything else seems like it's a train wreck in terms of like they have potential, but they never use that potential. You know what I mean?
The Mets are one of the strangest constructed lineups I've ever seen. And this is not a knock on the Mets. Like their lineup is incredible, but I swear to you, they have 3 DHs, they have like 4 first basemen, and they have like no outfielders and no true anythings. They have like 3 shortstops. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, how do you? They have DHs playing the outfield at this point. I mean, it's really weird. Like their team offensively is incredible. I'd argue probably the best defender in that infield right now. I mean, Alonso made some great plays. Like he was one of the only people making great plays in the exhibition games. Like he threw out Torres at third. Like that was a good throw. I mean, it wasn't too crazy. I mean, Torres tried to be aggressive. Be aggressive in the lead. I don't care about that. That's fine. But man, that was a pretty ugly game. I mean, yeah, it was an exhibition game, but still, like, oh my god.
There was 2 separate occasions where Alonso couldn't even get to the ball because his fielders just threw it way off, especially that one from Robinson Cano where it was like, what are you doing? Yeah. Like, that was completely off. Like, I honestly feel bad for Alonso because it's like, I know Alonso's not great defensively, but holy, like, you're not making his life any easier with those throws.
But the dude has to be like 8 feet tall to catch these throws. I don't know what you're doing. Yeah. I mean, like, also, Dellin Betances still can't throw to first. We figured that out.
And Dellin Betances is with the Mets now. So that's going to be interesting to see how well he does.
God, his facial hair looks so bad.
Who? Betances?
Betances. Oh, my God. And people are like, why do the Yankees have a no facial hair policy? Betances. Like, it's so bad. It looks like he's... Which one's worse? You think Betances' beard? You can Google it if you want to look this up. Like, you can go look at it. Which is worse? Betances' facial hair or that time that Mike Fiers shaved half his beard and his beard was a G? Like, which one is worse? I want to see that.
The Giancarlo Stanton beard because he had a G on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
He's just got like a curly Q over his face. I'm like, what are you doing, bro?
Did you like James Paxton's mustache that he had, though? Remember that?
Oh, no. It was like a Ron Gary mustache.
I want to
like
show this on screen real quick. I'm going to show this.
Have you seen the Andrew Miller mustache? It looked just like that. I want to see if I can find that.
Dude,
like he used to have a mustache when he was on the Yankees, and it was so bad.
Dellin Betances, Mets. Okay. I actually... Oh, this?
Which one?
Oh, man. Yeah, Betances with the beard.
Yeah, it looks like he just like...
Okay,
I'm looking at the James Paxton mustache picture on screen right now.
Oh, yeah, I just showed it just now.
God.
And then, what was it? Mike Fiers beard?
Mike Fiers, the G beard.
Yeah, I don't know what Mike was doing with this one. I'm not really sure what he was doing with that. Like, okay, Dellin Betances might look better if he's clean shaven, but like at least he didn't do this. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like at least these players don't do that. Like I don't know what Mike is doing. Like
I don't know what Mike Fiers was doing. That's just come on, bro.
I don't get that. That's anyone in chat right now, can somebody please explain to me why Mike would do that? Like that just seems ridiculous. Like Mike is a solid pitcher, but like outside that, man, I don't know what you're doing with your mustache, man, or your beard or whatever is going on.
All I need to say about Mike Fiers is he needs to regrip. Regrip.
That's so funny though. His beard is. But yeah, I'd prefer Dellin clean shaven, but you know he can do what he does. You know, since he doesn't play for the Yankees anymore, he can be free to.
It's not better, but like it looks awful.
Yeah, he can be free to express himself how he wants to. It's up to him. I'm just curious how well he's gonna pitch with the Mets. I mean, knowing the Mets, he could just completely fall off because they're just such a bizarre organization.
I mean, I don't have any faith in their pitching coach, but I think he looked okay. Honestly, he'll be fine. He's got the stuff that no matter what happens, as long as you don't get people on against him, and as long as you don't have him throw over to first, a la John Lester, he'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know why, but he just can't throw over to first. I don't know what his problem is. I don't know.
I feel like I'm one of the only Yankee fans who's kind of tired of seeing the Mets play the way that they do and actually would like to see them compete again.
I want to see them compete. I want to go to a Yankee Mets World Series. Like, I want to do that. I missed my chance in 2000. I was way too young. Because
if I wanted to watch an MLB organization that's equivalent to a single A organization and just commit errors after errors after errors, I'd go watch the Orioles. The Mets are the Mets are better on paper than what they show.
Yeah,
They
they
were
definitely
way
don't.
better on paper,
They don't play up to their potential. That's for sure. They could definitely be better.
but their defense is still atrocious. That's probably not going to change for the foreseeable future.
Do you remember what I was saying last year in the offseason about the Mets this year, about their pitching staff? I was saying, like, wow, the Mets got 150 games out of their starters this year. That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe it. They haven't. They got, like, they had no time on the IL for, like, DeGrom or Syndergaard or Wheeler or Matz. They got full starts. They had, like, maybe 15 starts where they had their, like, backup starters in.
Mm-hmm.
But this year, I expect them to regress. They're going to be, have some time on the injured list, and they're going to be worse off. I didn't think it was going to be this bad. Like, this is worst case scenario. This is like, start of the season, we've got DeGrom, we've got Syndergaard, we've got Stroman, except you don't have Stroman, and you don't have Syndergaard, and DeGrom has back issues, and we lost Wheeler, and God, they need something. I don't know what they're going to do.
Like that, if those three guys are healthy, Noah, Jacob, and Marcus, that is a scary three. I mean, at least number 2 pitchers, at very least.
I'll put them. I will put them like 4th. I'll put them 4th, and the only reason I'll put them 4th is because maybe without Ryu, I feel like the Dodgers are still okay, but like the Rays have a really good pitching staff.
Mm-hmm.
The White Sox have a really good pitching staff now. If they can just get like anybody else to step up, like they've got Giolito. If Keuchel does really well, they've got him.
Mm-hmm.
They've got who's the guy they just is it Ronaldo Lopez? If he figures it out, he's pretty good too. He's just got the yips. They're pretty decent. I thought the White Sox had one other guy. I forget who it was.
Well, I know they have Dallas Keuchel. I know that much.
Yeah, Dallas Keuchel and Giolito is really good, but the Rays are really scary.
The only problem with the Rays, though, is their offense. Like, if they can't muster up more runs, that's going to be a big problem for them. But, I mean, their pitching is just all around dumb. Like, it's so
rotation.
good.
Scary rotation. I mean, you have to deal with Blake Snell, the other guy.
Tyler Glasnow.
Yeah, Glasnow.
Charlie Morton. Charlie Morton's ridiculous.
Charlie Morton. And then on top of that, you got to deal with their bullpen.
And their bullpen's pretty much solid from top to bottom, too.
They did lose a pitcher to Tommy John. They lost Colin Pouchet.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was a shame. He's a good pitcher.
They had Brendan. I know, like, he kind of struggled at bits, but Brendan McKay has a ton of potential.
Yeah, McKay is pretty good, too.
Like, he has a lot of potential for as young as he is, too.
I mean, Chaz Rowe has the filthiest slider in the league. I don't care. I don't know if it's nasty, but Chaz Rowe, like, I don't understand how he gets that much break on his slider. It's insane.
I would definitely agree with you. I know a lot of Yankee fans don't want to hear that. They want to say Adam Ottavino's sweeping slider is the best, but I would agree that Chaz's slider is by far the best. It's ridiculous. I don't even know how his slider is humanly possible. Like, it just has so much movement on it. It shouldn't even seem like it's like that. Like it just doesn't really make any sense. I can't explain it. I know physics can, but I can't explain it. But I will say Adam Ottavino, that is probably between his slider and Tommy Kahnle's changeup. Those are like my 2 favorite. Oh, and Chad Green's rising fastball. Those are my 3 favorite pitches from any like relievers or any starters that we have. So
when I watched Tommy Kahnle pitch, I don't know how the hell this dude throws a 90-mile-an-hour changeup and gets this much movement on it. I don't understand because he just throws a circle changeup like it's nothing fancy. Like I can't throw. Like he basically just uses these back 3 fingers to throw a changeup, and I don't understand how he gets that much movement on it and throws it at 90 miles an hour with his weaker hands. Like the point of a changeup is you throw it with your weaker fingers so that way you take speed off of it, and he still throws 93 miles an hour. Like what? How does that even make any sense?
Yeah,
like, dude throws 99. Like God, I think he touched 100 a couple times I've seen, but damn, dude's a beast. I love that guy.
Beast to say the least. That
We're doing.
actually is an interesting question though. Do you have a favorite pitch from any Yankee reliever or starter or closer for that matter from
Wait,
Chapman?
sorry. Say that again. I was reading because Brett Gardner was trending. I was afraid for a reason, but
Oh.
can you say that again?
Do you have a favorite pitch from any particular Yankee? Like current Yankee, not past Yankee. Like
Uh,
one pitch that you're just like, man, like that is dumb. Like that is ridiculous.
yeah, Haley's changeup.
Caneley's changeup.
Haley's changeup. Like, oh my god, disgusting.
I'd
There's a couple candidates.
hmm I would probably have to say I don't know what it is. There's just something about movement with a fastball, but I love Chad Green's fastball whenever he elevates it. That is just almost next to impossible to hit, it seems like.
My second place would have to be Chapman's unintentional two-seam fastball.
hmm
Like that thing, when he grips it the wrong way and throws the hell out of it, that thing moves back in on you or moves all over the place. It's just you have no shot.
hmm
That's number two. I think there's a couple other really good fastballs that people throw, like Severino's fastball. Great, like yeah. Woo.
Paxton also has a nasty knuckle curve. That's disgusting. That is a gorgeous
Really
pitch. I've noticed that when Paxton has his knuckle curve on, he's at his best. Like when he has that on point, he is elite, elite, elite. You know.
Yeah, you can't touch his knuckle curve one.
What was that?
That would be the hose. Someone's watering the garden, I guess.
That's why I love these type of chats with you because it seems like every time we talk, something happens, no matter what. Like it's just so much fun.
Oh my god.
So
Gardner was trending. I was afraid that he is out of the game.
so
God.
is there anything else in terms of because we kind of already covered the lineup and maybe like some like options that we had and stuff. Is there anything that you're hoping to see from the Yankees this season that was lacking last season, or anything that you just hope to see more, even from the offense? Like, is there things that they may have struggled with?
I got it. Hold up. Let me grab it.
Oh no! Oh no! What is this?
I got the sign. I want to play it. Yeah, there we
The
go.
chase for 28. Let's go.
I got the sign.
Basically,
Let's go.
we don't need to say anything else. We just need to win number 28. That's basically it.
Give me World Series championship number 28. That's basically it. I want to see. I think so. I want to see Judge get off to a hot start and play a full season. If there is anything such as a full season, I'd love to see that. I want to see Giancarlo actually get Yankee fans excited about him again because he deserves it. I would love to see who else is. I'd love to see Hicks bounce back from his surgery and really show everyone that he's really good at defense, and that's why we love him because he's a really good defender. And even if he produces a little bit on offense, he's really great, and I love having him in the lineup and in the field. I want to see. It's a real shame. I want to see Frazier get some at bat, and I want to see him really show up.
It seems like, at least, I mean, you can only judge so much from like one interview, but from that one interview, though, regardless, it seems like Frazier has matured a lot, because they were asking about, are you going to wear the mask? And he's like, I don't care. I'm going to wear it. I don't care what people think about me. And I'm like, good. You shouldn't care what people think about you. Just go out there and play ball and do the best you can. That's all I can ask from Clint Frazier. I know his defense is atrocious, but you just got to work at it. I mean, I have confidence in him. And he's got a good bat. His bat speed is ridiculous. I think we had a discussion like months ago that one of the, and I know like one player is completely better than the other. I understand that. But in a sense of like bat speed, he's got the bat speed that like Bellinger has,
Bat speed. The dude's a monster.
Like, it's ridiculous how much bat speed he has. Like, the only other guy I know that I can think of off the top of my head that has bat speed like that is Bellinger, And we know how good Bellinger is, and that's the potential that Clint Frazier has with that type of bat speed, I would like to see him do well. I don't get the thought process of having anyone on the Yankees or anyone on your team, regardless if you're, an Angels fan, Red Sox fan, Astros fan, doesn't matter what team. I don't genuinely get the thought process of some people who genuinely want a player to fail. That makes no sense. Whether you like them or not, why would you want somebody on your own team to fail? That just doesn't make any sense to me.
don't know.
So
I don't get it. People want to be proved that they're right with them disliking a player, so they're just like, yeah, I want to see them fail, and I don't get that logic. It doesn't make any sense to me.
have you heard
I
a
don't get it.
theory about Giancarlo Stanton though?
No.
The theory is, and I've seen it from around Twitter here and there, is that there are
For Tua?
no, of course not. No, Tua's with the Dolphins now. Uh, but there's a theory going around that Stanton will actually have the season that we've been wanting because
But he
he
had
was
it
so.
in 2018.
Well, I know that, but you're speaking to the choir though. There's so
Yeah.
many people who
Oh,
don't
you're telling
believe
me
in
that
him and are tired of him.
because he can opt out this year?
No. You know what I mean. Every single day on Twitter, there's always somebody hating on Stanton, whether he's made out of glass or, he strikes out too much or he does this and that. Even though when he is healthy and he's at his best, he produces. Yet people forget about that. But people are like, well, maybe that there's no pressure in New York, even though, like you said, he did have a good season
Had a good season.
before. They're like, maybe because he was so used to it in Miami, he'll just pop off because he won't have the pressure of looking up to Yankee fans who constantly want to boo him every time he strikes out. Which...
Be real here. The pressure was not on Giancarlo Stanton this year. Do you know who the pressure was on this year? Garrett Cole, Gleyber Torres. That's who the pressure was on this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's not on Giancarlo this year. The pressure's on Judge, Torres, and Garrett Cole. That's it. That's who the pressure is on because everyone wants to see Torres be an MVP candidate this year because of the season he had last year. They want to see Judge actually have a full season, and they want to see Garrett Cole actually show everyone that he's worth a $324 million extension. Giancarlo is really a back seat right now. Like, nobody really cares. Like, as long as he shows up to the games, I think everyone will be happy. And I don't care about strikeouts. Strikeouts don't matter to me. They don't make any sense. The people who are like, oh, I wish he would strike. I wish he... Like, I'd rather him hit into a double play than strike out. That's those people. And it doesn't make any... They're like, oh, at least he hit. At least he put the ball in play. That doesn't make any sense. I'd rather him strike out with the guy on first, honestly. Just stop. Mark Reynolds, didn't he get Hall of Fame votes? And he has, like, the most strikeouts ever. Like, that dude, all he did was strike out for his entire career. He also hit 1 billion home runs. That was Mark Reynolds.
Completely agree. Yeah. And that's, I mean, yeah, I can admit that Stanton has issues with health, and that's one thing I would like to see. I would like to see a healthy Stanton, and I would like to see a healthy Judge. And you cannot go wrong with a healthy Stanton and Judge. That is a scary group of guys to face.
I always say that even if Giancarlo and Judge... All right, let me put it to you this way. Did you see the preseason game between the Mets and the Yankees? Did you see this game?
Yeah.
Did you see any of it?
Yeah.
When Yoenis Cespedes steps to the plate, were you sitting there with a pit in your stomach like Yoenis Cespedes is about to hit a bomb like any second now, like every pitch, despite the fact that we know he's broken, that you're afraid that he's going to hit a home run? Did you have the same feeling that I did?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Well, I felt like he was about to go off. I was like, I know this dude can hit him out everywhere. So I was like, that's the same thing with Giancarlo and Judge, is that even if they're struggling, they can hit any pitch out at any time. And you have to kind of be careful with that.
I mean, did you see how well Judge was hitting the ball in these exhibition games, though? Especially the games versus the Mets? I mean, I know it's weird. The Mets, but he was swinging the bat really good.
I don't really get that big of a difference between home runs. Even when he just steps up to the plate and hits singles, I'm okay with that, just like him hitting home runs. I feel like it's mostly the same. You know what I mean? Like, him hitting home runs is cool, but I feel the same way. Like, sometimes I don't need him to hit a home run. I just need him to hit a double or a single or just walk. Pass the baton. It'd be cool. I just hope he's not swing happy now when he just, unloads.
I agree with you. I think walks are one of the more underrated things in baseball. I mean, why would you not want somebody to get on base? That makes no sense. So I think walks. I think sacrifice flies are also extremely underrated. Why would you not want to score?
Didn't we had a really good sack fly ratio last year. We were really, 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 really good.
It seemed like compared to 2018, we kind of switched in terms of being able to get runners in, and we didn't waste as many opportunities compared to 18 because it seemed like it was just constant. And you know what I'm talking about.
I think we finished 1 RBI behind the Twins in terms of most runs batted in. I think we're right there. Like, we were really, really efficient, especially because of LeMahieu. and because we were really, really good with our approach with runners in scoring position last year. We were really, really solid. And I
Mhm.
feel like that we always had confidence that if you had a guy in scoring position, we'd actually would score them.
Mhm.
And we were really good at hitting sac flies with runners on third.
Bless you.
Thank you. We're really good. That's always been our thing is getting runners in. Our approach with a runner on third is really good. Make contact, put the ball in play, get the guy home. Hit to the right side, get that run in. That's what really matters. And we're really solid and really, really hit that one hard last year.
Mhm.
That's how you win. That's how you win. Um, I'm trying to think of anything else that I can think of.
Well, I know we pretty much went over, like, we talked about the Nationals line, I talked about Yankees, what we expect to see. I mean, pretty much the only thing I can expect is, well, win the game, at least. At least I'd hope so. And see good things from Garrett Cole, have him live up to the hype. I want Stanton to hit well. I want Judge to hit well. We talked about it before the live stream started. I think the first person to hit a home run tonight, in terms of, I can't speak for the Nationals, but for the Yankees, I really, really hope and predict that Judge is going to hit a home run. And I'm being as bold as saying he's going to hit it in the first inning. Off Max Scherzer.
I'm going to tell you it's going to be Giancarlo.
You think it's going to be Stanton? See, I think it's going to be Stanton or it's going to be Judge. But I'm going with Judge. So.
Update. Boone says LeMahieu is off the bench tonight. He will face Jordan Montgomery tomorrow to get more bats and can start Saturday.
And you did see that news about them optioning down Gummy. So.
Yeah, that was really weird. I feel like it's just because we want more relief pitchers for the first week until we get Tanaka back, and then also have to not worry about a bullpen. I'm sure he'll come back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he'll come back.
I mean, I hope he's the fifth starter, behind J Happ. And
yeah, I love him to be the fifth starter. I want to see it.
I hope to see good things from J Happ because we know from spring training he looked good. But we need to see that in actual real time, though, regular season game, not just spring training. But he did look good in spring training. So did Jonathan Loizaga. I can't wait for him. Like, he looked good. And then Montgomery, he looked unbelievable against the Mets. He just looked unhittable. Literally unhittable. Everything was working.
And his fastball is a little wild, but I think that was just because it was a spring training start, and he just needs more reps.
His curveball is filthy, though.
He looked a little wild with the fastball.
But you can at least admit, though, that his curve is disgusting. It is.
There's been more breaking news.
Beyond disgusting.
More breaking news, but that doesn't include the Yankees. Apparently, Cole Hamels on the 45-day IL right now.
Jeez.
Triceps tendonitis.
That's rough for the Braves.
Yeah, that sucks. Everyone's getting injured all of a sudden. It's crazy.
Or they're getting COVID, like Juan Soto, which is really misunfortunate again. Don't really have to describe why that's misunfortunate because he's good for baseball. Yeah. So.
Shame. Closing remarks. What do you think about Betts' contract?
I mean, I definitely think that it's a smart thing from the Dodgers standpoint. I think he's every worth of that contract. I think he's a generational talent. Obviously not Trout, because no one's Trout, but he's definitely a generational talent. And I kind of find it funny and a little hysterical that there were a good portion of Red Sox fans that were quite confident that he was coming back to Boston. And I'm like, well, that idea kind of got shot out of the window now because the Dodgers aren't going to let you have him back. So.
I'm going to put it to you this way. Basically, all I've heard about from the last week, quote, that all the people calling on the radio are like, oh my God, Steve Cohen, let's go buy the team, and we're going to sign Betts, and it's going to be great. And I'm like, about that. I don't know about that anymore, you guys.
Oof. And then, you don't have Chris Sale because of Tommy John, and I mean, honestly, the Red Sox are just one big question mark this season. I really don't know what to make out of them.
Train wreck right now. Like, they have no bullpen. They have no starting pitching. They've got no Pedroia. Yeah,
they don't have Mookie anymore. So,
who is their starting? Like, let me put it this way: who is the Red Sox starting pitching right now? Go! I guarantee you can't name a name.
Eduardo Rodriguez.
Yeah, but he's out from COVID. So who is the Mets? Who is the Red Sox?
Oh,
Let's start.
Nathan Eovaldi.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
Nathan is their number one right now.
Yankees regards from
So
Mexico. Yo, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate it, dude.
thank you,
Let's go
man.
Yankees.
We appreciate it. Every bit of
We're just
support we
trash
really need. We
talking.
really do appreciate it. That's why we do this. And if
I
you
feel
go ahead, Jed.
finish. I'm just getting
Oh,
started to
I was
go
just
off
gonna
on.
say, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I mean, we'll answer anything. It doesn't even have to be Yankees. Like, if you
Oh
want to
yeah.
ask questions about anything in baseball, I mean, we're open
Okay.
books. We don't. I don't just watch the Yankees. I mean, obviously, I focus on the Yankees because they're my
I
favorite
like
team. But I watch everybody. Like right after this game's over, I'm gonna be watching the Giants and Dodgers game. And like that's how it is every day. Like I watch
Yeah.
the noon games, I'll watch the games at 3, and then I'll watch the games at 7 or 9. Like I watch baseball all day every day. So I'm open to talking about other teams as well. If you guys have questions, but go ahead, John.
So what I was about to say is that the Betts contract makes a lot of sense. I feel like it's a good deal for Betts. I feel like it's about as much money as he would have gotten in free agency. Although I really think that when you're given free agency, you should try free agency because it's a once in a lifetime experience. When you're a highly touted player and you know you're gonna have a lot of suitors, it's probably in your best interest to actually test free agency and then sign. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's your once in a lifetime thing. Enjoy it. See what you're worth. But I feel like that it's a good deal for the Dodgers. I feel like that they definitely underpaid him a little bit. I feel like he would have gotten like Arenado money from somebody.
Hmm.
It makes a lot of sense for him. Next year, if he was hitting free agency next year, I feel like every free agent next year would be getting basically less money than they would have because essentially no matter what you do this season, teams are going to look upon it differently, being that someone's going to say, "Oh, you had a really good season in a shortened season. We don't really care about that. We don't think you're worth that." Or if you have a bad season, people are going to be like, "Oh, well, I mean, you had a shortened season against easy teams. You could definitely have done better, and therefore we're going to give you less money."
Hmm.
So it's smart for him to sign now, especially before the CBA, before that we have a potential lockout coming up. It makes a lot of sense for him to sign a contract now. It's a good deal for both sides. They get him locked up for long term, and he signs a contract before the CBA. It's good all around. It's good times.
Hmm.
The Dodgers. The only thing I don't like about it is the fact that it was 150 million deferred. I think that if you're going to pay somebody, pay him up front, pay him what they're worth right away. Deferred money is silly to me. I feel
Hmm.
like that's just silly. Pay them now. You know, whatever. It's
But
it's a good deal for both sides.
but overall, the contract's good because Betts is definitely worth more than that.
Yes, I
But now
think
the
that's
Dodgers have a generational talent in their outfield, and we already know how ridiculous. Now you literally have an
Robert Gold.
MVP with an MVP out in outfield, Bellinger.
He's in two
And I don't.
candidates.
I'm not
And that
sure. I'm not sure what they're going to do about Jock Peterson because he's going to be. I don't see him in a Dodgers uniform next year.
I'm
So
not sure.
I'm
He's the.
curious. Yeah,
I think they tried trading him, and then that trade fell through. I think didn't they try to trade him to the
yeah,
Angels?
they tried to trade him and it didn't work out.
Uh,
I don't know. Like, I mean, I like Jock Peterson. I think he's a
yeah,
better player than what people give him credit for.
the odd
But
man out.
I don't, because of that incident, I feel like it probably
Yeah,
left a sour taste in his mouth. And I don't
he's
know. I just don't know if I see Jock staying with the Dodgers next season. I mean, I could be wrong. He could. And he's a really good player. I think the Dodgers would be silly for not keeping him, for signing him to a contract. But, I mean, all in all, it also depends on how much money he's asking, how much he's worth, and the Dodgers are willing to negotiate with him. So I
yeah,
think we'll worry about that. That's like we don't really know. It's kind of like with Chris Bryant. His contract's gonna be up in 2021, and Rizzo with 2020. We don't know what the Cubs' intentions are. Um,
I don't know what their intentions are, but there is no goddamn way they can pay them. Like,
mhm,
oh my god, they're strangled right now.
mhm.
See, I'm sure they'll find a way to do it. I mean, they have to pay Bryant. I don't know about them paying Rizzo, but we'll see. We'll try.
The only problem with that though is the fact that Rizzo's contract is up this year, so they're gonna have to figure out what they want to do with him before they figure out what they want to do with Bryant. So
Um, See, I mean, how much? What's their payroll this year? I mean, they're Chris Bryant's going to be in 2021. Chris Bryant's going to be in arbitration for Baez RB3, Schwarber RB3, Terpera, Dan Winkler, Contreras is going to be in RB2. Like, That's about it. I mean, they're going to be tough. Like, I mean, you got to pay Baez money. Like, if
Mm-hmm.
Baez's 2020 salary is 10 million, that means his 2021 salary is going to be 15 million.
Mm-hmm.
Bryant, I think, is going to. This is his last year of arbitration, 18.6 million.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what ARB4 rates are going to be, but I'm sure it's going to be tough.
Yeah, they're in a pretty tough predicament. When is Baez's like when?
I think that Baez is ARB3 in 2021 and then free agent 2022, just like Bryant. Schwarber is the same way, free agent 2020-21.
Yeah, so they're gonna have like some time crunching these next 2 seasons and these next 2 years.
Lester is getting a raise to 25 million. Hayward's 23.5. Darvish is 22. Rizzo is 16.5 club option. Kimbrell's 16 million because that was worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Hendricks 14 million. They're loaded up on contracts. Like, oof. That 2020 is going to be rough to them. They're going to have to find a way to squeeze a lot of people in there for 2021.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be tough.
I'm not sure what they're. I really don't think they're gonna be able to pay both Rizzo and Bryant. I just don't see it happening.
And if they do, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get more players on the team. And it's going to be tough. They're going to be very difficult. I mean, speaking of tough to get on a team, I mean, our players are going to be paid like buku money. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how we're supposed to do this.
I actually heard someone think that with the whole situation with Rizzo and Bryant, they said they think that Bryant could possibly go to the Cardinals, and I'm like, okay, so we're gonna have like a who was it? Oh my God, I can't think of his name. Went from the Red Sox to the Yankees. Johnny Damon. So we're gonna have like a Johnny Damon situation because we know the Cubs and the Cardinals are big rivals. What did you think about that?
Which one?
Would you actually see Bryant going to the Cardinals if they couldn't finalize a deal with the Cubs?
I've never
seems
heard
a little strange
about him going to any other teams. I heard like it was rumored that one time about him to the Yankees, and I just didn't get that one. It didn't make any sense to me. I think he goes to whoever gives him the most money. I mean, I'm not sure if he has any hesitations going anywhere, but I'm sure whoever gives him the best contract, he'll go there.
That'd be kind of crazy though if he went to St. Louis. Like, wow, that'd be insanity.
Damon and Ellsbury both took the biggest contracts. I mean, they just decided against it. You know.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
I remember when we signed Johnny Damon. You know, I was thrilled. I was beyond thrilled when we got Damon.
Wasn't the best Yankee, but he was signing.
I was a pretty big fan of Damon. I was also a really big fan of. Doesn't seem like a lot of people really. Not that they don't care for him, but they're not high on him. But I used to love Mark Teixeira. Like,
oh my God,
I was a big Tex guy.
I love Mark Teixeira. Yeah, homie.
And I used to think it was like kind of funny whenever he would see a good pitch and you'd never see someone's eyes light up as much as his. Like, he would light up and crush that thing.
I have a picture of it. Like, he looks like a deer in headlights when he sees the pitch he wants. He just turns on it. What was I going to look up? I think Mark Teixeira is like one of the all-time hitters of like switch hitter home runs. He's a switch hitter too, which is really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing a guy have like that many home runs as a switch hitter, it's incredible.
I just remember how good he was in Arlington, and whenever we got him, I was so stoked to hear about it because I had seen Teixeira before in Arlington, and I want to say it was in 2000. I want to say it was 2006. It had to have been 2006 because the White Sox won the World Series in 2005, right? Because it was the year after the White Sox won the World Series. I went to go see a Rangers and White Sox game, which doesn't really make sense as a Yankee fan. I'm not cheering for any of them, but still. And I got to see Mark Teixeira.
I need a hot take from you real quickly. I need a hot take real quick. Okay, ready?
Lay it on me.
So, I don't know if you saw the post, but it was a tweet of lids, and it says the highest selling MLB hat in Massachusetts is the Yankees hat.
Really?
I need a hot take.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. No, I'm not.
Oh, is this dude? There's no state in the Northeast. Look at
have a Red
this.
Sox.
Look at this. There is
Right?
no state in the Northeast that
Freaking
is.
Louisiana.
There's
Yankees.
no state, period, that is the Red Sox.
I'll give you my hot take, and my hot take is that it is that way is because of Jay-Z. That's the only reason I'll give you.
Why?
I can't explain it any other way.
Okay, so
That's all I got.
the Pirates in Puerto Rico. How does that make any sense?
The only reason I'm going to give you is because of Roberto Clemente.
I would think Puerto Rico would be like, I don't know, a team in Florida, like the Rays or the Marlins, just based on demographics.
That I can come up with for the reason why it's Puerto Rico is because Roberto Clemente is from Puerto Rico. That is the only reason I can give you. Other than that, I've got nothing. I find it really that White Sox in Illinois.
White Sox in Mississippi and Idaho doesn't really make any sense, but okay. Okay, I can tell you though, the one thing that does make sense is the Cardinals in Oklahoma because I'm from here, and there's Cardinals fans everywhere here, so that one definitely makes sense.
Yeah, that one makes sense. I don't really, I can understand situations like I know the Yankees are big in Canada, so like teams like they broadcast the games up there for Yankees all the time. They're always on TV, so that's why Alaska makes sense for them to be Yankees hat. Some of these make sense. Obviously, there's no team in New Mexico. But I don't. Louisiana is the Yankees.
That's crazy. I think it would be like, I don't know, the Astros or something, some team closer, you know? The Astros or, well, pretty much the Astros is what I would think. So, yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Makes sense. White Sox in Idaho doesn't make a lot of sense, but sure, fine, whatever. We'll go with it. I don't get it.
No, not really. I don't get that. I need to next time I go to Idaho, which is probably never. I'll see all the White Sox hats at the airport, right? See, as soon as I step out of the plane in Boise, I'll see a Yoan Moncada or a Yasmani Grandal jersey as soon as I step off the
you'll
plane.
see a Lucas Hill jersey on. Yeah.
That is strange. That's crazy. I would like to think that is based off of sales, obviously. How many hats and merchandise are being sold in each state? So
I don't know. I do not know.
That's strange. I kind of want the chat to like see what they say about that. If they think that's a load of bollocks, or if that's just it's just an entire scam.
There was that one list where, for some reason, it had a picture where it was like top team sales in each state, according to StubHub, and none of them were the Yankees. It was like the Mets in New Jersey. I'm like,
what? There is no way.
Like, bruh, what do you mean? Nobody's like, the only time that I see that stadium full is when it's like a division game or like it's playing the Yankees, and that stadium's packed. I don't get it.
That's
like the Mets. The Yankees had 1 million more ticket sales than the Mets did. How does that make any sense? I
was about to say, like not having the Yankees in New York, in a sense of selling the most merchandise in New York, makes no sense. That makes no sense.
Do you have any closing arguments? I think I need to go. Minutes. We need to go get some dinner.
Well, I know we talked about Mookie Betts. I guess probably the final thing we could talk about in the sense of what's going on tonight in roughly 2.5 hours or so. I think the game starts at 6, right? Yeah, 6 Central, 6:05 Central, 6:10 Central. Yeah. Okay,
7:08 Eastern time.
So about an hour and a half now.
We're halfway. Yep.
We already talked about what we want. We want number 28. That's the biggest thing, without a doubt.
For 28, we got
yeah, you can post it up for the new people who just came in. So,
I got this. It's all covered in dust.
I'm gonna literally make that I'm gonna make that the thumbnail. Like when I post this video for like people to watch afterwards, I'm gonna make that the thumbnail of the video.
I got that from the Cleveland game. It was raining. I'm surprised it survived because it was pouring. That was the game where like Todd Frazier hit the double in the left field line against Bauer. Good game. Solid.
Todd Frazier in Texas now. That's weird, but
Todd Frazier.
I guess we could talk about just like, I mean, we already know like what we expect from the team this year and such, but and we talked about a little bit of who we were going to predict who's going to hit the first home run. I said Judge. You said Stanton.
Yep.
What kind of scoring do you think this is going to be? A big time pitchers duel, which I mean I would anticipate it would be. What kind of scoring do you see out of this game?
I feel like it'll come down to be like. I feel like it'll be like a 4-2 game. I think the Yankees will win 4-2.
4-2.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can conceivably think of a situation kind of like where both aces just give up a crazy amount of runs. Because we did see Scherzer get shelled against the Phillies, and we did see Cole give up a couple home runs against the Yankees. I mean, I can see it being 4-2 in favor of the. I feel like Cole will give up at least a run, and then another run will come against them. I feel like that'll happen, and Britain will probably give up a run as in a safe situation up 4-1. I feel like it always. But
what do you think Cole's final line is going to be tonight?
I think it'll be something like 6 innings pitched, like 5 hits, earned run, maybe a walk, 7 strikeouts, something fair.
That's reasonable because a lot of people think he's gonna pitch like a perfect game. Like that's not gonna happen. I highly doubt it.
I think in his first start, I think he'll go 6 innings, and then they won't try to push him, and then they'll just roll out the bullpen and just say, "Okay, have fun." Chad Green, get in there.
Tommy Kahnle, Adam Ottavino, Britton.
Like they'll just roll out the bullpen. We can definitely support a 3 or 4 inning bullpen. Like even if he only goes 5 innings, I'll be happy.
Mm-hmm.
They want him to throw 90 pitches. I can see him working hard. It's going to be hot out there. I don't think he's going to go too long.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to try to push him. It's going to be a good fight. Same thing with Scherzer. I don't see him pitching that long either. Maybe 5-6 innings.
Mm-hmm. I just like you said, if it's just 1 earned run or so, that's more than perfect to me. That's awesome.
Think that Scherzer will also only give up like 1 or 2 runs.
You think it's the bullpen that's really going to give it all up? The Nationals bullpen.
It's going to give it up because I'm not sure. Like outside of Sean Doolittle, I don't know what the bullpen is going to be right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not sure what their bullpen is. I really don't.
To be honest, I don't either. Outside of Sean Doolittle, and I think there was one reliever that we talked about earlier that opted out of the season. I know Ryan Zimmerman opted out, but he's not a reliever. But I think there was a reliever that opted out for them.
They have Will Harris now. He's pretty good.
That is right, from the Astros, yeah. Will Harris is pretty decent, yeah.
I know Ryan Harper's okay. Daniel Hudson's pretty good. Tanner Rainey's okay. I don't know about Wander Suero. I know I've heard that name before, but I don't know how good he's going to be. I think that honestly it will be an all hands on deck game. I feel like that even if it's not a situation, close game, I feel like they'll definitely use their closer, Doolittle.
Tony Sipp, Ryan Madsen, Justin Miller, Sean Kelly, Fernando Abad.
Oh, they have Abad.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
I think it's fair to say that our bullpen is significantly better than the Nationals. I will say that much.
But that's pretty good though. That's really good.
It's good for us because we don't have to worry about it. And as good as I do, the Yankees are a very good team about getting things, getting work done whenever the bullpens come out, making them work and getting into their head. They're a really good team about that.
To work pitching staffs. That's our strength. Our strength is getting in there and really working hard, like old school Yankees, work counts and do that stuff. It's great. Love it.
If Cole only gives up 1 or 2 runs, I see the max of him giving 2 runs. I think we're going to win this game.
I don't see him giving up more than 2 runs, honestly.
I think we're winning. I think we win this game because we also have a more superior offense than the Nationals do, especially since Soto is out.
Yeah.
So,
the way that Scherzer works is if it's a tie game after like the 2nd inning, I don't see it being much of a. I don't see us scoring any runs off of anybody until like the bullpen comes in. Because once Scherzer gets in a groove, it's really tough to get him out of a groove. Like it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, I don't see either team like putting up a large amount of runs on Cole or Scherzer. I just don't see it because they're both outstanding elite pitchers.
Yeah, they gotta get him. They gotta get to him early, or else I don't see it happening.
Swinging early, Luke Voigt.
You gotta score in the first innings off of Scherzer and Cole, or else I don't see them really giving up a lot of runs.
Prediction. This is not really prediction that's going to determine the outcome of the game, but I guarantee you, the first time Luke Voigt steps in the batter's box, he's going to swing at the first pitch. How much you want to bet he's going to swing at the first pitch? It's not saying that that's a bad idea. A lot of times it's been a really good idea.
First pitch fastball, that's a mistake.
But yeah, Scherzer, don't pitch a fastball to Luke Voigt or he is swinging at it.
Fastball, that's a mistake. Like you need to know scouting report wise that Luke loves to swing at first pitch fastball. And maybe it's good. Maybe you throw it out of the zone on purpose. Maybe you try to get him like low fastball and you try to throw low fastball and get him to swing over top of it. Maybe you do that. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But if he tries, then I think that's a mistake because Voigt loves to swing first pitch fastball.
Mm-hmm.
Right, well, I need to get going though.
That's about everything we have for today.
I got for today. So thanks guys for chilling with us. It'll be a good game. Hopefully we actually have the game. That doesn't get rained out.
Please don't say that. I'm gonna be so upset if it gets canceled.
I know, I'll be so disappointed. But I need to go. I should be around after the game probably. Be around after the game to talk about it. I don't know what time I'm streaming tonight. Probably after the game, after we finish talking. But yeah.
Alrighty. Well, before I go ahead and end the stream off, I don't know. It depends where you're at the current time, but we're thinking about doing a post-game podcast, and it won't be like this where it's like an hour and a half. It will only be like 30 minutes max, even if that. Probably around 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes. So it won't be like too terribly long. But we do want to start doing post-game. Even if the Yankees lose, we're still going to do podcasts after that. There might be some times where John doesn't come in. It might just be me or I might have another guest, but definitely get comfortable with John because he's going to be my co-host. Anytime he's available, he's going to be the one I'm talking to for obvious reasons. Because we're good friends. We've been friends for a while, and I mean...
Yeah, we share the same opinions usually. Sometimes it's a little hit or miss, but that's okay. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion about anything.
Alrighty. Well, do you have anything else to say, John, before we go ahead and end the stream off?
Nope. Chase for 28. Let's get it, boys.
Chase for 28. Hold up the sign. Do you have the sign? Do you have the sign, John?
I do have the sign. Yeah, I do.
The one that didn't get wet in the downpour in Cleveland?
Yeah, no, it's actually a Yankee Stadium. Yeah.
Oh, is that Yankees? Oh, yeah, of course it is. What am I talking about? Why would you get that at a Cleveland Indians game?
Yeah.
Why would you get that? They would not be selling Yankee merchandise. Actually, although one time when I went to a Royals game, though, they were selling some Yankee hats. So I don't know. Who knows? They could be, for all I know. Who knows?
They were trying to get in on the hype of the Yankees going down.
They didn't have enough Royals fans there. There were too many Yankee fans invading Kauffman Field.
They always invade the stadium. You're right. Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. Well, I hope you guys and girls, did enjoy the podcast. We will do these more frequently. Like I said,
shorter. This time we just rambled for an hour and a half.
Yeah, probably not. And we won't always just talk about Yankees. We'll talk about other stuff too. But the post games,
when the games start, like we'll have things to talk about. Yeah. Right now, we're just speculating on everything.
Mm-hmm. And post games will be strictly Yankees, like just Yankees. That's it. But
you guys, the Astros have hit by pitches.
Good Lord. I would rather not talk about that. I just want the season to get underway and just don't hit pitchers or don't hit batters intentionally. That's dumb to me. So hope you guys enjoy the game tonight. Hopefully the Yankees win. Hopefully we have some good news to talk about after the game. And hope you guys